Hi, everybody. I am just so thankful you're here. I give you a huge shout out wherever you are in the world. I hope in my musings about my experience, nobody else's, just my family's, that you are able to find something that helps you along the way. Please like and subscribe, and smash that update button for your notifications. So whenever I put out a new video, you get a little doorbell, and you're the first one to know. So I left off with by saying, if you're in the cult and you make nasty comments, your comments will be deleted. And when I say nasty, just anything that's not supportive of me. And if you're going to try to inflict your brainwashing on me, it's not going to work, period. So there's that. Yeah. All right. So, so the nice German couple changed my parents' lives. It's hard to believe that people will just let complete strangers in, like carrying a Bible. It's like, really? I guess because they're carrying a Bible, which is supposed to be a good book, right? The good book. There's a level of trust that's like automatically instilled. Oh my God, right? Yeah, we've all seen, and I'm pro-democracy. I'm just gonna say that right now. We've all seen how, like, religion and the Bible have been completely used to skew our country's, at least, morality in such a wayward direction that it's not even funny. It's laughable. It's not funny, but it's laughable, right? So, anyway, I think their name was Mueller. They've passed. This was a long time ago, mid-50s. They got a knock on the door. They started Bible studies. They just dove all in. I mean, meetings, field service, knocking on doors. And there's a hierarchy to this. And I don't know how long it took for my father to become an elder, but he eventually did. He was an elder most of my teenage, preteen and teen years. My dad was an elder. And I kind of jumped ahead, but I want to tell this story while it came up in my brain. I think that's how it's going to work. It might not be very chronological, but it should be interesting. So it's still a blue sky out. It's beautiful, beautiful spring day here in the lovely Southwest. So we were at meeting on Thursday night. I think it was a Thursday night. It might have been a Sunday morning, actually. And we hear what sounds like firecrackers. Pew, 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 pew. And at first somebody said, "Oh, it's just firecrackers," and then it kept going, and then they're like, "No, it's a gun, it's gunshots." So we all duck under the chairs. Actually, it must have been night because the shooter could see inside. And my father was on the platform, on the podium, giving a talk. So I think it was a direct assault on my father, the elder of the congregation. I believe this happened in 1974. And it's interesting now. I started noticing that all the windows are gone. They don't put windows in their kingdom halls. There you have it. And I think that it's a direct result of what happened that night. I mean, maybe other hits were, maybe it was a thing. I don't know. I really don't. If that was a one-time thing or if it happened a lot. But I know this cult is notorious for dividing families, and people get really pissed when their loved one is taken away from them by a nonsense cult. Nonsense beliefs made up by shriveled up old little white men, starting with one man in the late 19th century, around 1876. An offshoot from, I believe, the Seventh-day Adventists, which I think it was an offshoot of the Seventh-day Adventists, or maybe the Seventh-day Adventists were an offshoot of the Second-day Adventists. Not sure. So yeah, that happened. We all got under our chairs, turned the lights out, and there were, I think, about 5 shots altogether, maybe 6. But I was reading a report that my father wrote. Not a report, but like he liked to write he liked to write about his life. So, I was reading a couple of months ago, and he actually wrote about this shooting. Maybe I'll find it and read it to you guys sometime. But from my memory, he said that the police were notified, but the case was dropped because there were no witnesses. Haha, no pun intended. Right? No witnesses. And, I guess I can see that. Like, the KH was up on a sort of a little hill in a residential, in kind of a suburban neighborhood. But, I mean, these people are like wet dish rags when it comes to protecting themselves and their own and their children, except in court. So it doesn't surprise me that they didn't want the attention. And I almost question whether or not, I don't think my father would lie. My father was like kind of a truth teller to his own and his whole family's detriment. I mean, he would, and in so doing and being so truthful, he would go into the minutia of things, which almost twisted up his words in itself anyway, or twisted up the events around whatever the thing was that he's like admitting to. So anyway, that was interesting. I was around 14, 15 years old. And we never talked about it. I never talked to anybody at school about it. Like my guidance counselors, my teachers, they just thought of me as like this really withdrawn, shy child. They didn't ask questions. But what they did do is follow my parents' instructions to remove me. I hope you're not hearing a bunch of wind because it's quite windy right now. So I hope you can hear me okay. So what they did do is they followed my parents' directives to make sure I was like sitting in the back of the classroom at birthday parties. I didn't get any cake at Christmas parties. I didn't get anything. I didn't give anything. Wasn't allowed. Halloween, nope. I couldn't wear a costume. I couldn't get any candy. So what that does to a child, okay, maybe it's not so bad in itself. It's like, I really never really thought I cared. I felt weird though. I felt like a freak, which made me even more withdrawn and more shy. But they really used the children. Oh, here comes a dog. 2 dogs. Want to say hi? Oh. It's okay. There's so many dogs around here. So yeah, it makes you feel like a freak, and it isolates you from the world, really. Other kids don't know how to act around you because like you're kind of separating yourself when you're in school, right? Your parents aren't there. You're in school. You're alone. The teacher is just obeying the commandments of the parents, because that's what they have to do. And so these religions use the children to send a message. So the children are pawns for the religion. The children, I'm going to say it again. The children are pawns for the religion. The children are the ones who pay the price. The children have no rights, period. None. What child has a right to choose their own religion. None. You want to talk about indoctrination? Okay. That's indoctrination. You are drugged to church meetings, whatever you want to call them. There's a special room, the ladies' room. It's larger than the men's room. So the mothers can go back there and, do whatever they do with their unruly children in the meetings. Skipping around now, I'm at the meetings. But the fear is real when you're a child. The fear that their God and Satan both are constantly watching you. Constantly. Satan's lurking around every corner. He sees everything you do. Everything. He's going to tempt you at every corner. He's going to tempt you. What are you going to do? Are you going to obey Jehovah? If you don't, the birds will pick out your eyes from your dead body at Armageddon. Nice, huh? Yeah. Nothing like telling this dark blood poetry, as Barbara Harrison calls it in her book. Dark blood poetry. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, comment nicely. Remember, if you're part of the cult or anti-democracy, I don't want your comments. I will delete. With pleasure. Love you guys.